All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, spirits and entities of all kind, the ancestors, the angels, the gods, atheists, witches, Democrats and Republicans, independents, libertarians, black, white, brown, red, and otherwise, anyone with the ability to hear and see and observe and process and listen and understand. Welcome to the first broadcast of the Unorthodox Sage. I am your host, Ali, and today we're going to be talking about what the Unorthodox Sage is and who the Unorthodox Sage is. Now, I am currently broadcasting live from my YouTube page, and I was recording this podcast on another webcam for another platform, but it has currently just shut down on me, which is fine. We're still working out all the technical kinks behind the scenes and everything. Anyway, welcome to my humble podcast. The Unorthodox Sage. The Unorthodox Sage basically means that I will not be exploiting certain ideologies and images in order to convince you or in order to inculcate or indoctrinate you into believing that I am some type of highly respected and globally accepted guru of some sort. I will simply be providing you with whatever knowledge and wisdom and insight and understanding that I have gained through my time and experience here in this existence that we call life. I'm not going to be wearing, fancy Mediterranean or Middle Eastern or Indian robes with rosary beads and some type of fancy wrap on my head. I'm not going to be sitting in the lotus position and speaking very calmly and very softly in order to make you think that I have achieved some type of superior enlightenment. And that's where the unorthodox part comes in. A lot of times you will notice and you will see and you will observe that many gurus, internet gurus, mystics, healers, prophets, oracles, or whatever they want to call themselves, have to put on this image, have to speak a certain way, have to be from a certain region of the planet for their intelligence and their insight to be certified and qualified. I don't believe that. Yes, I was born here in the United States in Washington, D.C., the belly of the beast, as they call it, as they often call it. Um, Tons of corruption, uh, tons of culture, tons of diversity, tons of politics, uh, and all other types of social and cultural dynamics here um, in Washington, D.C., in the United States, which gives me the opportunity, or which has given me the opportunity, to experience a tremendous amount of diversity. I have lived here in the Washington, D.C. area, Maryland, Virginia. I have lived in Pennsylvania. I have lived in New York. I have lived in Northern and Southern California. Shout out to Santa Rosa. Shout out to San Diego, uh, Columbus, Ohio, Long Island, Brooklyn, uh, Reston, Ashburn, Fort Washington, Chevy Chase, Uptown, South Side, Parkchester, Columbia Heights Village, you know what I'm saying? All over. Northeast, Brooklyn, Garfield Terrace. Uh, so I have experienced a significant amount of diversity on this continent. Uh, Not globally, but I have met people from other countries. And I have friends, uh, very close friends, uh, and associates and business partners who are not from this country. And we do a lot of conversing, a lot of conversations about different cultures, different religions, different politics. So I would consider myself versed on a number of philosophical and theological and political subject matters. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here. We're going to be talking about everything from, you know, love and relationships, self-love, mental health, to politics and spirituality and culture and everything in between and around. That's what we're going to be talking about here. And it is not my position to tell you what is right and what is wrong, for the most part. I think there are some things that most intelligent and civilized and insightful people can agree that is wrong, such as rape, human trafficking, and forced prostitution, beating an elderly person over the head in order to steal their money so that you can get high. I mean, there are things that, even though we have this concept of relative or subjective morality, there are some things that seem to lean more towards the absolute and the authoritative uh, than the questionable and debatable. So there are some things that are just wrong. And we will talk about those things. And there are some things that are just right, such as love and compassion. Um, but there are things in the middle that are very subjective and very relative and very circumstantial. And we'll talk about those things. But more or less, I'm not here to tell you what to believe or what to think. I'm here to assist you in the process of learning how to think with critical thinking and objectivity and logic, and how to tap into your intuition and your instinct and your human and animalistic and earthly nature and your cosmic nature and your divinity, and how to balance all of those things, how to observe and examine your environment, the life forces in your environment, and how to judge, how to analyze, and how to critique and how to process those things, or at least how to understand and interpret what you process. not necessarily how to, but to give you a multitude of options, a balanced sense of consciousness and perception that a lot of people don't present. A lot of people nowadays will just offer you the absolute. It's either this or that. It's either Islam, it's either Christianity or Buddhism or Hinduism or nothing else. It's either the Republican Party or the Democrat Party or nothing else. You know, but hopefully here on this channel, on this podcast, on this show, we will elevate the necessary discussions that need to take place in our society. We will keep it grassroots. We will keep it authentic and genuine and sincere. And there won't be any smoke and mirrors. You see, I don't have a green screen with a whole bunch of graphics and microphone with a pop stopper and fancy earphones and all that stuff. You know, I have a webcam. I have a computer that I can do research on. I have a little libative inspiration, a notepad, pen and pencil, and my own consciousness, my own experiences, my own intellect to share with you. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for checking out this broadcast. Right now, our first show, we probably have no followers, maybe one or two. But we are still broadcasting live. This is sort of my test pilot. And don't forget to like this post, help me grow, support what I'm doing here. Follow me on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and share this post. Share this broadcast, share this podcast, share this video on all your social media platforms and help us grow. And thank you to all my viewers and all my supporters and all of my followers in advance for your support and your love. So that is basically what the Unorthodox Sage is. It's just a human being, an experienced human being, a middle-aged, experienced human being, spirit being, divine being, material being, learning being, evolving being, sharing my perspective and perceptions and observations and my opinions with you, the world, the universe, and I welcome critique, criticism. I welcome judgment. I welcome your opinions and your thoughts and your ideas and your philosophies and your questions. I welcome you to join this conversation. Anything that you would like to discuss, please leave in the comment section, and we will find the way to get into those things. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, we absolutely will invite you, and we love to discuss and debate and share and grow and build and philosophize here. As I mentioned before, we are operating out of and based in the United States, the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Northwest, here in a neighborhood called Petworth on Georgia Avenue. We're in the heart of the city. A lot of culture, a lot of diversity, a lot of beauty. So if you're interested in being a guest, this is where it will be. So that's basically what I wanted to share with everybody on the first show. That is basically what I want you to understand about the Unorthodox Sage. No sugarcoating here. You can invite your younger children and charges to observe and learn, I would advise that there is always a parental or an adult presence when watching this podcast, because we do get very raw at times. But we're very honest, and we try to be balanced and harmonious in our ways and in our speech. Some may be offended, some may consider things controversial or a little bit harsh. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But if you're having hard times explaining certain things to younger people, articulating certain ideas, this is a good place for them to come and to listen to some mature and intelligent discussion, without the fear of brainwashing and indoctrination and inculcation and conditioning. Okay, so welcome, thank you, and see you later. Enjoy. Cheers.